we need to talk about Kings of War Champions, a new game set in the Kings of War system in the Kings of War world of Pannithor, coming from Mantic. I understand that the pre-orders go live very soon. Tomorrow, I'm recording this on Thursday afternoon in the UK, and the game is supposed to be getting a full release at the end of April. Now, there's not an awful lot known about the system at the minute, but Andy Burdis from Mantic and Rob Berman, formerly of Mantic, have been on Countercharge and the Mantic Universe podcast talking about the game in a little bit more detail. I've just listened to Countercharge whilst I was out on a lunchtime walk, and it's such a beautiful spring afternoon. I thought I'd make this quick video outside in my back garden, just soaking up some rays. Black t-shirt was a massive mistake. So what do we know about it? It's going to be the stepping stone into Kings of War Rank and Flank. Is that what Ambush was supposed to be as well? Not quite sure. But listening to the podcast, I'm going to put the link down to it here anyway, but I would highly recommend listening to it anyway. I mean, Countercharge is a really good podcast, so it is what it is. But listen to it. There's loads of information in there, and I'm just going to try and bullet point it a little bit. But you should absolutely go and listen to the podcast to get all the information. So it's going to be a stepping stone, like the first entry into Kings of War. The rules are going to be stripped back a little bit. It's going to play a bit quicker. It's going to play a bit smoother. It's playing on a much smaller board. It's playing on 22 inches by 42 inches. I think they said, or 24 inches by 42 inches. So it's like a bit like a Warcry or Kill Team board plus a bit extra. There's going to be a two-player starter set. Commit that now. That's what really stood out to me because I love a two-player starter set. That's going to have Basileans. I don't know. Basileans and Forces of the Abyss. Each company is led by a named character with a set list. So you get your box. You have your lead, your hero, your champion in there, and they have their set units with them, and that is the list. They've all been played against each other, so there is an internal balance there. The two-player starter set comes with potentially a paper map. There's card punch-out terrain. There's tokens. There's a rule book. Everything you need to get going. Build instructions for the miniatures, which is very, very important. And then following on from that, there's going to be two more. Companies being released, and then every month after that for the rest of the year, there's going to be a box released. I'm really quite excited about this because Ambush, like I said, I bought the starter set for Ambush, and yeah, it was fine. Like obviously, like the models are really nice and everything, but I just felt like it was just Kings of War small, whereas this is much more introductory, much more like noob friendly. Listening to Rob talk about it, he's saying like they took a lot of the complications out, so you can play this very quickly. It plays on a small surface area, like I said, like it's quite a small board, fits on a coffee table, and it just seems like this is. I'm not saying that Ambush was a misstep. It's just that this feels like it's much more geared towards being this sort of intro thing that will get people to give it a little try. I personally am very, very excited for it. I say this about pretty much everything that Mantic do because I am an unabashedly Mantic fanboy. I like everything they do. I like the guys that work there, all the people that work there, and well, I've not met them all, but you know what I mean. And they're a great company. I think they're doing great things for making gaming so accessible. Like look at Halo, that's absolutely exploded. Like Andy touches on that a little bit in the podcast, saying like it surpassed all expectations. It's got people that would never have really considered wargaming interested in wargaming. Obviously that's built around the Dead Zone rules. It plays really fast, plays really slick, really easy for people to pick up. So yeah, Champions. I'm pretty stoked for it. I think that a starter set, you've instantly got my attention. If there's a starter set, I'm interested. I'm all over it. I'm all ears. I like the two factions that are in there. I think that Basileans and Forces of the Abyss in particular lend themselves to getting painted up quickly, which again I think is another important thing. And I just think, yeah, I think it's what Kings of War needs. Rob says in the Countercharge interview that, you know, and I know myself, having bought a couple of Kings of War start sets over the years, that, yeah, you know, rank and flank, it looks amazing when it's all built and painted, but you've got to build and paint it. Like, you know, if you collect something like goblins or ratkin, or even halflings, you know, that's a big chunk of time. Yeah, ogres, yeah, you're laughing. It takes no time at all to get an ogre army together. But yeah, it just needs that. I think it's just needed this much trimmed down, user friendly experience. And I have contacted Mantic to see if I can get any early access stuff. Haven't heard anything back yet, but I'm going to be pre-ordering it anyway, so that it doesn't really. I mean, it'd be great if we could get something early to get some nice early videos out for you folks. But generally speaking, I mean, I'm going to be getting into this anyway. I think that it'll be quite easy to trick people into playing. You've got your champion, you've got up to around 30 models in there, so just a handful of units really for each one, and away you go. I think that it's been needed. I know I've just said that, so I'm repeating myself a little bit. But Kings of having this sort of entry level, I think it's almost like, if you consider it a little bit like, I'm looking at it a bit like Spearhead for Age of Sigmar. I'm currently painting up a force for that to play with my mate in a couple of weeks, and I'm really looking forward to it because you don't have to worry about list building. It's all there. You've got your hero, and you've got some units. You've got all the rules there for you. Oh, this is a bonus for champions, that all the units have a card with all their special rules on, but then what the rule is. So once you've got your head around the basic rules, everything's just there on the card for you. Rob was saying it's really easy to pick up. Like you basically you learn the game in your first game, and then you're good to go from like games 2 and 3 onwards. Again, this is it. If you're not having to spend lots of time yourself learning a new system inside and out, and you can pick it up quickly, and then it's really easy to get people to. Hopefully, it's really easy to get other people into it, because you're saying like, right, here you go, we're going to play a couple of rounds of this, and you're going to understand it inside out. And then obviously once you've, I suppose in a way it's a bit like Spearhead, a bit like Kill Team. Like once you know something inside out, you just buy another box, and then you start again. And that's where you're not having to worry about. There's no analysis paralysis. You've just got your list. It's in a box. It's all there, and away you go. You build it, you paint it, you play it. You're laughing. Andy did mention something about pricing in there. However, it was in dollars, and I'm not comfortable repeating that information just in case it's wrong, and I can't remember exactly what he said anyway. So we'll see how it goes. But you just know that certainly starter set wise, you are getting a really, really good deal with Mantic products. So yeah, watch this space. If I get onto the early access program, absolutely buzzing. If not, no great shakes. We'll see what's what. But I will hopefully be bringing quite a bit more of this sort of content around champions. So yeah, good stuff. Cheers, guys.